You're not broke because of bad luck. You're not broke because you're lazy or bad with money.
You're broke because somewhere along the way, you learned how to be. And you learned to stay that way because staying broke felt like staying loyal. Let me explain what I mean. My dad grew up broke. Not struggling a little broke, actually broke. And his father used to say things like, "Money like that isn't for us." Just a sentence, said in passing, probably without even thinking about it. But that sentence became a rule.
And rules like that follow you into every decision you make about money. You see it show up in small moments, turning down a raise conversation, undercharging for your own work.
That's the first layer. The origin.
But it doesn't stop there. You carry it into every room conscient, including your friend group.
My dad used to say the fastest way to lose friends isn't failing, it's winning too loud.
You ever notice how some people get quiet when you start doing well?
That's not jealousy. That's discomfort. Your growth holds up a mirror.
So people slow themselves down, on purpose, just to stay in the group. Maybe you don't mention the promotion. Maybe you downplay the new deal. Just to keep the peace.
That's not friendship. That's a tax you never agreed to pay. Then there's family. And this one's heavier. Ever feel guilty for wanting more than your family ever had? That's not gratitude talking. That's guilt. My dad said the hardest part of getting out was feeling like he was leaving people behind.
So people stay smaller, Taze, not because they can't do more, but because more feels like betrayal. Some people even turn down moving away from their hometown, just so nobody feels replaced.
That's a guilt loop. It keeps the whole family stuck, together. Now here's where it gets personal for almost everyone watching this.
You ever get close to a win and somehow blow it up right before it happens?
My dad called it the ceiling kayas, where things get good and something pulls the plug.
You miss the deadline. You skip the meeting. You quit right before the payoff.
Even business owners do this, Katrix, pulling back right as the client list starts to grow.
That's not failure. That's loyalty to broke, protecting you from a life it doesn't recognize. So how do you actually break it? My dad broke it by doing one thing. He stopped hiding his growth from the people he loved. He let them see it and let them choose how to feel about it. That took one honest conversation, Faye. Not an announcement, just the truth, said out loud. Sometimes it means outgrowing a room you used to feel safe in. That's how you break the loop. Not by leaving people. Just by outgrowing broke out loud. Because nobody who really loves you is asking you to stay small. That was never the deal. That was just fear, wearing a disguise, calling itself loyalty.
If this hit home, subscribe, and the full series that breaks each piece of this down is on the channel right now.